Hey everybody, this is I guess you call it Bass and Bonsai bait casting 101. How to teach somebody to use a bait caster. So today we have we've got students, Javier and Noah. Now Noah does know how to use a bait caster. He hasn't I don't think he's got 6 months worth of time on a bait caster, so he's still fairly new, and we'll show you kind of how we have the reel set up for him. But then Javier has never tried or attempted a bait caster, is that correct? No. So what I would recommend, let me see this one real quick, is if you want to make your life a lot simpler teaching somebody, especially a kid, just go buy one of these and let them play with it. You know, buy it as, consider it like a toy, line it up for them and let them start using it. But this is Easy Cast Shakespeare. They sell blue, pink, whatever, but it's got this mechanism that kind of prevents it from backlashing. When you do a normal cast, you take your thumb off the spool. If it's going to start the line overrunning the spool, this lifts up and it's an automatic brake that stops the spool internally in here. And just to letting a kid to play with one of these is like one of the best ways to do it. It's makes it a lot easier. So, but if you don't want to mess with buying another reel, these are like 30 bucks. I want to say 29 or 39. I can't remember. I think Kmart still carries them. Several other places. Just look them up. And I'll show you how to initially set that. And we'll watch Javier here in a minute make a few casts for his first cast. He hasn't cast yet. Don't cast yet. All right. Now, Noah, let me see your reel and rod. Now this is actually going to be Javier's. This is the one you guys may remember. I picked it up and it wasn't what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to have a shallow spool. It came like this. And it's still good. It's MGX. It wasn't crazy expensive. And Javier liked the Bass X rod that you guys have seen in a few videos. They pair up, look pretty good. And I know it's kind of expensive setup for a kid's first combo. But he will start out on that thing. And then we'll move to this. And Noah's going to use this one first thing here just to show you guys how I set them. So anyway, let's jump into how we set this thing up. All right, and we will be jumping around. We've got, two different kids, two different skill levels on the bait casters. But for just starting out, if you guys can see this or not, and this pretty much goes for anybody, even if you used to use a bait caster, you got out of fishing for a while and you're going back in. It's not going to cast real far, but the best way to set a bait casting reel up for a beginner or somebody, still not really, you have issues with backlashing, is you want to tighten this to where whatever bait is on the other end slowly drops, and when it hits the ground from, say, 4 or 5 foot, that spool stops. That takes out a lot of the problems. Then I suggest, if you've got an internal system, some of them got the little clicky things, you click in and out, put everything out. You want as maximum braking as you can get. And then you turn the dial. If it's got a max, see the max, you turn it all the way up. And this is how you're going to start out. And you're going to make sure, first of all, you got a clear open area, and you're going to want them to just cast it. See, like that, just a little bit of a backlash on its own. So, but you can still backlash these. So I'll show you real quick what I'm going to have Noah do and what I suggest. When you turn someone loose with the bait caster, an overhand cast should not be what you're having them cast. Because when they let go a little too late, it's going straight down at the ground, and if they don't realize what they did, they let off that spool, it will still bird's nest like crazy. So what I recommend is you get out here and you first teaching them, have you a good clear area, and teach them to cast like this, almost like you're swinging a baseball bat and trying to hit it, up in the air, popping it up. So you're going to want to swing. And you see this one still overran some. So that tells me I'm going to actually, just because it's for a beginner, I'm going to tighten that a little more. So I'll bring this in, because and these don't have a crazy braking. They're more for advanced people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that up to where it barely drops the bait, because it's still casting real well. It's a pretty heavy bait. So we're going to start it to where it just barely lets that bait fall, and then we're going to go there. And same deal, we're just going to let them do it like that. See how if they don't stop it, but then you're going to want them So right off the bat, don't tell them just cast it and don't put their thumb on the spool. So the first thing you're going to do, and come over here, Noah, and we'll have it. And Noah knows what to do, but I'm going to go through it real quick with him. So you know how to push this and release it when you want it to cast and go. But what do you do right before this bait hits the ground or the water? Put your thumb back on it, right? Okay, stand back, Javier. This could get dangerous. Stand back, Javi. Move.
Wait, what do I do when do I hold the line?
You know how to cast it. You push the button, hold the spool, right? So push the button, hold the spool, now cast it. All right, now okay. You guys see what he did? He put the thumb on it right before it hit the ground, or way before, however you want to do it. You get nervous and you're like, uh-oh, I didn't go, it's not going where I want it to. Just stop it with that, reel it back in and go again. So reel it back in. You don't hold your thumb on it while you're reeling in. Also a pointer you might tell somebody is when you're not stopping or letting off of this, put your thumb up here. Let your thumb sit up there and kind of grip the reel. Reel it all the way up. Okay, right there. And that's also another thing, if you can make that out, this is about the perfect distance. 6-8 inches, and you know, you can get more advanced, you go a lot, you know, you might go longer if you've got a lighter bait to get more, sling it out there sort of, but for a beginner that is about the perfect distance. And I've got big hands, but somewhere right in here to leave the slack. You don't want to reel all the way in. You can pop these guys right out. You might want to tell them that also. You know, if you reel all the way in, that first eyelet, your tip is probably going to get destroyed real quick. All right, let's get back, Javi. Here we go again. Noah's going to cast again. Watch what he's doing, Javier, because you're going to be up. You're on deck. You ready? All right, reel all the way in fast, real fast, pull, and then real fast, and you'll keep it from getting caught in the grass. Just like if you were fishing in the grass. You're getting a little dangerous. Okay, so as you see what he's doing there, and let me see it. You see him make a couple casts, but with the bait caster, it's just like if you've used the spin cast, and if you've never used a spin cast, that may be the first reel you want to use. But basically you just put your thumb on the spool as you're pressing, you know, down, holding the line. You know, take your finger back off the button, but still holding the line onto the spool. Now you're aiming this like you would almost a gun or something. If you want it to go, you know, that way, you're going to want to let go right about, you know, somewhere right in here. If you want to hit that, when you're coming around, you're going to want to hold off just a little longer and let go right about there. So if you're aiming at that, and I've got the drags tight, so it's kind of letting it pulled it on me a little bit. And then just get them out there doing these sidearm, you know, and make sure you're letting them know to kind of have this kind of thing on their first cast. And then you can see that if it does have any kinds of thing, and if it does, if it's got a little bit of a bird's nest, just pull it out a little bit and then reel it in. All right, Javier's. All right, guys, we're actually going to have Javi just go with this one. He hasn't even cast that other one yet, and I decided to show you guys a bait cast. This is a true bait caster. The other thing's kind of, I would still recommend getting one of those for your kids, letting them play with it in the yard, and then going to this route. But we're going to go straight to here with Javi. Now, did you see what Noah's doing? He's reeling it up to about there, right? Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Yes.
Okay, that-handed, right-handed. Now, how old are you?
7.
7 years old, never had a bait caster before, right? Now, did you see how he did it? Now, what you're going to do is when you put your thumb here, put your thumb up there, I'll show you. As you push down on the button, you hold the spool so it won't fall. Now, when you come back, you're going to go like that, like you would swinging a bat, but like up like that, right? And you're going to let go right in there somewhere, okay?
Let go of this?
Yeah, you let go. Oh, now reel it back up. All right, there. So push it, and then you're going to let go of that about half. No, you're swinging wrong. Swing, hold it down, like right there, and then swing it out that way. Cast in. See what I'm doing? Watch me. I put my thumb here, and I push down on the spool. Then I've got the line. It can't go anywhere because I'm holding it. Then I rear back and I cast it. I let go. See that? Are you seeing what I'm doing? or not? So what do you do when you get to that point?
You hold the line and then
Push the button. No, you're not pushing the button. Okay, now cast it out. There you go. Oh, well, then before you reel, see this? If you got any kind of a loose line, you pull it loose before you reel it up, okay? Now reel it up. Now reel it all the way in. Keep going. All right, reel it up, and you keep doing that until you get the hang of it. All right, stop it right there. Don't reel too far. All right, what do you do right now? There's where you're struggling. What do you do?
hold this.
Hold that, push down on, nope, there. Okay, that's still good, that right there. Nope, don't do any more. Okay, now cast it. All right, hold, whoa. Now look, remember when I told Noah? When it's gonna hit the ground, what do you do?
Hold that.
Put your thumb back on there, right? To keep it from, that's how you backlash. Okay? Now here's what you wanna do. Since you're kind of throwing real light, aim it higher and throw it hard. See that? Then that way it won't hit the ground first. And then when you see it coming up, as it's coming down, then stop it wherever you want to, okay? Then reel it back up. See, you didn't backlash, did you? All right, reel it up. Good job there. Now try to throw it way out that way. Keeping it down, there you go. Nope, so you let too much line out. Now you have a hard time, right there's probably good. All right, push that button. You gotta push the button. Okay, now go. There you go, stop it, stop it. Well, you didn't stop it. You didn't backlash because it's set real tight, but remember you gotta stop it as it's hitting the ground. All right, reel it up. As you can see, guys, his is his very first time, and he kind of is still trying to figure out when to push the button and whenever, because that's what happens with a lot of people, with even with the spin casters. You can watch them, they don't actually push the button until they're ready to let go where they want it to go, and that's where they'll struggle with the spin caster too. Okay, you got something input to put in?
People that are watching this, if he does this, my dad gets 1,000 likes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he actually does.
Okay,
He
come on.
actually does.
He's got it now. Got the button pushed. All right, whoa. That was good. Stopped it a little too fast. Keep going, you're doing real good now. You got the main parts down. Push the spool, rear back, let go of the spool, then stop the spool right before it hits. There's only a few simple steps, really. Yep, not too bad. All right, reel it up. Now what you're doing is you're letting go too late because you keep coming over here. So if you got, watch them. If they're casting way over here, they're letting go a little too late. So you need to let go a little bit sooner. And if they're throwing way out that way, they're letting go too soon. So kind of help them out there on which way to, how soon or late to let go. There you go. That was a good cast. See, almost straight ahead of you. You stopped it and started on your own. All right, keep going. We're getting about, I don't know, 15 foot, which is, we're not worried about distance. We're just worried about getting a, good cast in. There you go. Now that's about what, 25 foot?
Yeah.
That was a good cast, Javi. All right, reel it up. You're getting better. Oh, I think you had one. Did you have a fish? Oh, you caught some. Oh, look, he caught junk. Bring it here. This is another little trick here. Oh my gosh. All right, we got you cleaned up. All right. Oh, you didn't stop it though, see? Always remember to stop it. And it happens to the best of us. I do it all the time. I'll cast and not realize that it's hitting the water as soon as it is. All right, reel it up.
Yeah, that was a good cast though.
Yep. All right, reel her up. Let's do it again. Oh, he's got another one, kids. Oh boy. Oh, ooh, that's a big one. Uh-oh, might need the net. Check the drag. Yep. Well, there's another thing while you're doing that. When you are fishing and you're a little hung or something, never pull straight towards you. Always pull towards your buddy that's fishing in the back of the boat with you. That way it smacks him and not you. Matt taught me that one. All right, here we go. All right, stop it. Good job.
That's way better.
All right, reel it up. Go ahead. All right, he's doing better. That's actually pretty good. You could pretty much be fishing like that right now, and he's not really maximizing how far it will cast with the settings set pretty tight, so we'll just let him, you know, however long it takes, half hour, a couple different days, just leave it set like that. They're not backlashing. You don't have to clean out a bird's nest. Just let them get used to it. And what you'll eventually want to do, on this one, there's only one setting. I guess I could show you guys. This is the, I think they call it the mag 4 braking or whatever. There's really not much you can do in here. There's just a dial on the outside. So he's actually doing good for this thing. It is turned all the way up, but it's not, as you can see, I can, not a hard cast, I can still cast it a ways out there. These aren't known for having, you know, real tight brakes. So I'll leave it right there. But as someone, and you kind of just wait for them, whether it's an adult or a kid, you'll get the sense of like, why can't I cast further? Like, why am I casting and it's stopping at a certain point? Well, that's when you tell them to just, you know, come back. And I recommend a click at a time. If you're, you know, in a hurry, you can let them go a couple clicks at a time, but just back it off a click, let them, same thing, get out there, cast it around. The eventual thing is, over whether it be that day or within a couple days, you'll want them to be about probably halfway in a few days. And I may let Javi cast it like this, see if it even makes that much of a difference for as far as he can cast it. Of course, he can tell he's real interested in fishing right at the moment. All right, Javi, come here. Let's try it one more time like this. Now I got the brakes turned down, so make sure when you let go of it before it hits the ground to stop it, okay? Let's see how he does here. All right.
I think I see a penalty.
All right, he stopped it. He let go a little too late, and it's way over here, but it still was a very good cast. All right, reel it in. So he's got the basics down already. And it's basically because we didn't have to stop at any time during anything. We even were filming and all that, and clean out any bird's nest backlashes, just to the fact that I had this as tight as it is, as you can tell, still set tight. Now, I don't recommend backing this off until you've already backed this off. Then eventually you'll want this. And I still recommend your first month, maybe even a year into using a bait caster, to leave this to where when it hits the ground, it doesn't create a bird's nest on its own. You should be able to just let it hit on its own. That's not bad, like if that's something you can pull out, because it never fails. What'll happen, whether it's a kid, even I've done it, and I still do it on mine to this date. I've got them set real loose. I'll push the button, be talking to somebody, next thing you know, I'm not holding it. It hits the water, ground, whatever, and I look and I've got like a actual bird's nest created just from letting it go. So that's why I recommend keeping that kind of tight until you're real confident that you don't have any issues with casting, and then that's when you can look into like what's the best setting on this guy for you. For me, I can tell you right now that I like to put a 1/16 ounce crappie jig on it, and I want it to just about like what this one is, where it won't backlash. I do the same thing with the crappie jig. I just want the crappie jig, no matter what reel, BFS, big reel with 30-pound test on it, I want the crappie jig to just barely fall. Probably, now this will be too tight for this guy. But about like, I don't know if you can make that out, but about like that. Maybe not even that fast. But I just want the crappie jig to fall. 1/16 ounce weight, basically. Now this is at least a 1/2 ounce. You can see it's not backlashing, so this is a perfect setting for, well, I mean, you can tell, well, I'm in the fence way over there, but I have this set halfway and this pretty tight, but I can still zing this thing out there, no problem. You know, I'm not going to get the maximum distance I could, but it's going out there. All right, guys, I hope you liked that little video on the basic initial setup of somebody, a bait caster, if you're just starting out or just kind of refreshing, you know, you're having issues with backlashing. That's probably where it started. Noah's got a little tangle going on over here. But you got that, Noah, or what? He's still working on it. Anyway, hit that like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You should be subscribed. I don't know why you got those bugs out here. Anyway, guys, share the channel, comment, and like always, what do we say, Noah?
Thanks for watching.
See ya.